What up, y'all? You guessed it. You back on one of the greatest shows of all time. Like I said last time, this will probably be somewhere up next to your favorite Disney movies, your favorite Marvel movies, the top 10 shows on Netflix. I don't know what y'all do all day on the internet, but this is better than your $1 million emails coming through to those CEOs. This is better than you getting that email. It's a potluck at your job if you work at the Walmart or the Sam's Club or whatever that is. I mean, this is better than the best of the best of the best tried and true podcast where I like to keep it a buck in all pennies. Y'all already know the deal. I'm not going to wear you out with it. I got two phenomenal guests, very familiar faces. I'm not going to waste too much time describing the book to y'all again. Y'all get the vibe. We on episode number 11, capital E, lowercase 11. These are two people who helped construct the whole book, man. They helped inspire it. They helped literally write and edit the book, kind of put the whole thing together. I'm not going to name drop or anything. Y'all know who these two people are. I'm going to bring them in one at a time. But right before I do that, both of these people are very near and dear to my heart. Yeah, and when you see their faces, you're going to already know. I think these one of the conversations that I had, actually, these two conversations I had with them separately on the podcast are probably two of the most viewed conversations that I've had on the internet, period. One of the clips went viral. So I was so grateful when I went viral. I almost blamed them for it, but it's my platform, which is ridiculous. I said I had to send a text message to the first one, like, hey, we might have to pump out some more clips to get me going. But without further ado, I'm bringing in the first guest. Boom, boom, boom. What's good? What's good? What's good? Is your audio working?
Yes, it is. Hey,
Hey, I would say in the flesh, but you're not in the flesh.
hey.
You're actually
No,
downstairs.
in the building,
Yes,
literally.
sir. In the digital flesh, in the meta flesh. And then we got boom,
Hey,
heavyweight, the big dog. Some might say
I can hear the
OG.
music.
You got it.
What's these moves? You should see Kahlea. Lately she's been dancing in the mirror like every night.
Hey, I'm with you, Kahlea.
I'm telling y'all moves are so similar. It's just hilarious. Yep, we got Kahlea and we got Shani in the building.
Sean
Um,
James.
yeah, I think both of you guys played such a huge role in the not just the creation of the book, but of the podcast. So I just kind of want to start out with saying thank you to both of y'all again. I think I said it to y'all before on the different episodes, but yeah, I just want to say thank you again because the experience, I was just telling Kahlea, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch this up right here. I was telling Kahlea the other day that the experience taught me so much about my communication style, and me being able to go through this process and get help from you guys taught me that I'm a writer, and not just that I can write, but that I'm actually a writer. That's my number one communication style, and I think that's so big. Learning the way that you communicate naturally, freely, and most comfortably is such a huge part of a person's identity.
Absolutely.
So I just want to say thank you to y'all, man, for helping me discover more me.
Anytime, brother.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I wish I had a button like a bomb button. I don't have any buttons.
Boom, boom,
Um,
boom, boom.
yeah, all right.
No, that wasn't it.
That's okay. You
I
can't
was
be
gonna try that, but I couldn't.
You
if
got
you're
it.
too loud, I already know if you're too loud, that echo is gonna be wild.
Oh yeah.
Um, all right, we're going to be talking about some things from chapter 11. Obviously, I like to keep this conversational. It's educational, but super conversational because we coming up on ending season 1. And
Hey,
I just, I wasn't even really excited until today about it, but it's just so dope. So today, super conversational. Got a couple of bullet points of things I want to discuss with y'all. Um, Kind of about, yeah, a little bit maybe about the book, but not even necessarily. I took the principles from the book, but I just want to kind of talk to y'all, and I took specific things that are relative to our walks in present time, because obviously, Shani, me and Kahlea moving way out here, and then you dealing with your move to Georgia and other places as well, like throughout this whole process. So one of the things that this is so interesting because it's not really one of those things that I could segue into necessarily. So you know what? I'm not even going to segue. Shani, I want to ask you because we haven't gotten on the phone much in the past week or two, not a lot. I just want to know how your week's been. How are the girls? And for those who are listening or watching, she has 3 of my beautiful nieces.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we're gonna video y'all literally ASAP. I know they're gonna be.
Yeah, y'all could. I'm gonna put you on blast. Y'all could definitely call me. Okay?
Nah, it's my fault.
No, I have some raps for Nazira.
She's been
So
practicing. Hey, I don't know if you're ready because she's been.
I
Practicing.
have something in my bag for
She
her.
been- She been. I mean, fun in the sun, rapping, clapping, and tapping. She's
I have
complicated now because she was rapping to me about
Oh man.
because it's real, you know.
Yeah, Zazu is. I don't know where she got the rap. Well, I guess I know where she got the rap bug from because you and Judah. That's what y'all listen to all the time, and then me, like her listening to my music. I was gonna say I don't know where she got the rap bug from, but I guess I do.
yeah, like
I don't know.
I do wonder.
I don't know where she got being able to rhyme from because between Judah and Shani, I don't even know.
No, you know what? He low key, high key actually can rhyme and write. Actually,
Judah,
he's a secretly. Yeah, I'm trying
he
to put him
can
on blast right now.
rhyme.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna say he's a rapper. See, he's not a rapper. He's something else.
Yeah, I ain't gonna put him on blast or
Right.
anything for what he about what he does. I'm very surprised that he could rhyme though,
Oh
because he
yeah,
ain't got no rhythm. It's weird when people without rhythm can rhyme.
yeah. See, I got rhythm and I can't rhyme. That I'm doing it all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, you just rhyme.
Oh,
That's so funny.
But
How
yeah,
y'all been? Y'all preparing for a trip to Disney World?
yeah, it's secret. It's low key. So thank goodness the
Oh,
kids are asleep, or you would have just
they don't know.
the cat out the bag. Yes.
Oh, they're being
so they don't
surprised.
know.
They know. So what they do know, due to
Good thing you said that on the
smart
podcast.
child, right? Due to my smart 6-year-old child, she has figured out that we're going to Florida. She also knows that Disney World is there. So she's like, yo, let's go to Disney World.
How does she know y'all are going to Florida?
Because she overheard her aunt trying to spell things.
Brittany?
However she
She
can.
thinks they can't spell.
She she was forgetting, I guess,
Brittany thinks Zazu can't spell.
She was spelling everything. I was like, look, the girl can spell.
Yeah, for the listeners and viewers, my niece can not only spell, she can speak different languages. She
Yeah.
can count in Mandarin. And
Yeah.
she could probably speak a little Spanish too if you put her up to the test.
Spanish is definitely her best.
Oh, really? I thought it would have been Mandarin.
Language. No. She's good with Japanese, but Spanish right now because she's doing.
Oh, is it Japanese? My
Yeah.
bad. I thought it was Mandarin.
I mean, she knows a little Mandarin too.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's for all the people out there who think Chinese, quote unquote, is a language. It's Mandarin. Calling it Chinese is disrespect. I learned that at work.
Yeah.
So
I too learned that at work.
I taught you that at work because you were on Zoom.
We are.
She was on Zoom. She was on Zoom and she was talking about having something translated to Chinese. And I was like on the side and I was like, it's Mandarin. It's not Chinese. And she had to get in the chat like, I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, you about to ruin the bag for everybody.
Yeah, it's definitely Mandarin.
Yeah. And I ain't finna get my podcast canceled for calling it Chinese.
Right.
That's what's up. So she figured out that y'all are going to Florida. She's gonna, you know what's crazy is she will have probably mapped out the route on the iPad. So when y'all are driving there, she's gonna already know where y'all going. She's too smart.
There's directions to the zoo with me on a weekly basis. Like, yo, can we go to the zoo? Can we go to the park that's at the zoo? Here's this specific place that's in Georgia. Wow. Can you take me there? Yeah, she's so smart.
She's better than me already.
Yeah, and she's ready for you too. Because last time you talked to her, maybe a couple times ago, you told her she didn't know second grade math, so she's been on it.
Oh yeah, I didn't tell her she didn't know. I just asked her if she was sure she knew.
Yeah, because you said what's like a double-digit number plus a double-digit number. She was just getting
right. I was like, yeah. So can you do these?
Oh, she ready for you now.
Yeah, because I taught second grade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I taught fifth grade.
Yeah, I told her, call Uncle Solly. You need some help because I'm tired.
Yeah, the listeners of the podcast don't know that I taught when we first moved out here. I helped run an after school program where I taught second grade and I taught fifth grade and a little bit of first grade. That was at Turner Elementary. Shout out to everybody at Turner. Anita Turner over in Southeast. Every day. Yes, sir. I rock with Southeast.
But just for the listeners who don't know, Southeast is a different part of the city.
Yeah, so like Southeast is where, like, some of the language that people use is like inner city, urban
Yeah.
communities, but like within the Black community, we would say like that's the hood. So
Mhm.
that's what we would call it. And it's not to say anything. That's why I say that's what we would call it, because it's not to speak lowly of it, because people there are definitely getting to it and doing what they got to do. And I love the parents there too. But you would call that's one of the areas in DC that gets less funding. You know what I'm saying? So like they get a lot less funding. So them pulling resources is a lot more difficult. So we were really doing a huge service to the community doing some of this stuff. Also working in another part of Southeast, not next to the school, but working in another part of Southeast, teaching financial literacy and development, real estate development around the city and credit repair. So
That's awesome.
yeah. So shout out to my nieces, all three of them, Zazu, Mimi, Yaya. And shout out to you for going to the place that we shall not name,
Okay. I
the
mean,
place I have never been. That's
Mimi is
gonna be
actually
tight.
awake right now. Mimi and Yaya are both up.
Oh, for real? Well, Mimi not paying no attention to what we got going on.
Nah, she don't care. She don't care. You don't got no cookies or something for her. She
Nah,
she
literally, she doesn't.
moved on.
Because they're awake, I'm gonna get started. Maybe we should do a podcast. Y'all distracting me. Kalea's asking about Disney World, and I'm just here to do a podcast. How's your
No, we're
before I
tired.
get started though, how's your week been, Kalia? With the meetings and things that I don't pay
My
attention to.
week, um, I'm in finals, so I am
Mm,
writing a paper, and it is taking a lot out of
what grade are
me.
you in?
I am in,
You're in like 30th grade.
yeah, I'm in the grade where you stop counting.
She's doing a PhD. For those of y'all who didn't see her other episode this season, go peep it. She's in a PhD program. She has started it and is in finals in her first year.
Yes, so I'm
Yes,
finishing my
sir.
first year.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so my week is fine. I'm happy to be in a different space. I've been working every night really late to do this paper, so it's nice to see Shani and talk to you, even though we
Always a
sleep
pleasure.
in the
Yeah,
same bed.
exactly. All right. I'm gonna get to it because we about 13 minutes in, and you
Can
got
I
the little
clarify
ones.
something real quick? Because Kalia said it's good to see you, Shawnee. Dot dot dot. Even though we sleep in the same bed, she's not talking about
Oh,
me.
no, it's
No,
because
no,
her.
no.
Okay.
It's
Now
good to see Shani and it's good to see Solo
there you
because
go.
I haven't
Right,
seen him in the evening times
There,
besides going to sleep because I've been staying up
there, that was me.
right.
until
She be
There
studying
you
until
go.
like 11 or 12, and
12.
I'm
Yeah, and he's
fighting to
asleep.
stay awake.
All right. Let me go.
Shawnee's like, yeah, papi.
She said, "Dot dot dot."
Oh man.
Go ahead,
Um,
Kimmy.
Nah, along the same lines of you going to Disney World and you finishing up your semester and doing finals, I wanted to talk about something. So, chapter 11 is called Get the Diamond. I should have created a little banner that says Get the Diamond, but I'm going to use this one right here that says chapter 11. Boom. So, chapter 11 is called Get the Diamond. And that's a concept I came up with back when I worked at the bank. For those of y'all who have listened to previous episodes, because y'all my ride or die, y'all part of the tribe, part of the tribe. Y'all know that I used to work at Wells Fargo back in the day, and that's where all of this book, the vision for the book, truly, truly developed this origin story, and I developed this concept called Get the Diamond, and it's pretty much about that the concept details the process of getting to that goal, the process of reaching the valuable state of being at all costs, regardless of the pressure, regardless of the heat, regardless of the cutting, getting to the top, just get the diamond. And I know people have seen the illustration. There's the guy and he's hacking at the rock. And then there's another guy who was hacking at the rock and he was further ahead, but he stopped and he turned back and he stopped and the one guy found like a little diamond and it's like, yeah.
Yep.
And the guy who stopped and he's turning back and he's depressed, there was a much larger diamond if he had just kept going a little bit further. And this concept was born because I was in a time when I needed to get the diamond. I needed to withstand the pressure, the heat, and the cutting. And I actually felt like just turning back because I saw a lot of people walking around with their stones. And I'm like, well, where's my stone? I've actually gone further and had to endure more. I don't understand where my stone is. but this is to get the diamond at all costs, is what I was writing about in chapter 11. And I don't want to, and what I wanted to discuss was the things that really contribute to getting the diamond or getting to that end goal, you finishing your program. You, Shani, do so many things. People need to watch your episode. You do so many things, just period. You're dealing with this, this whole Avengers version of a family. It's like the Incredibles, and you got Jack with the laser eyes and the fire breath, and then you got Dash, and then you got Judah, who's like, "Arr," and you are trying to be a mother, a wife, run a business, get everybody organized to go to the place that we shall not name. So I'm just like, but with all these things in mind, what I wanted to discuss, and especially like obviously me doing the stuff that I do, whatever, people know that if they listen to the podcast, but I wanted to talk about executing on the small things. And I wanted to kind of talk about the role that executing on the small things plays when it comes down to needing to execute on the small things in excellence. Not necessarily just needing to go through the motions, but when you kind of get down to the wire and the small hinges that the door swings on make the difference. If it's crooked and it won't open all the way, if it's rusty and it becomes dangerous to swing it because it might break, if it's too loud and creaky and it becomes too annoying to want to deal with. I wanted to kind of discuss with y'all, and maybe I don't know which one of y'all wants to go first, but I wanted to discuss with y'all, what does it look like to actually execute on those small things, what the small things might be. And sometimes when you didn't want to, or you caught yourself slipping and it affected you negatively.
Go ahead, Kahlea.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't y'all don't start.
Why she put me on the spot? I was literally like, I'm gonna wait for Shani to say something. I feel like this is such a robust topic. I think that what comes to mind for me is like what it means to have your house in order. And if your house is not in order, how can you operate in excellence? So I say that because I think more recently with these large transitions, it's been kind of like what Shani talked about in the her episode with her and Judah, of like, I'm looking for some type of normalcy that may not exist. And if I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop to create this atmosphere, I may never operate in the excellence that I need to. So, like, what can I do in excellence to get my things in order to operate in all things at my highest capacity? And I feel like I just said so much, and I don't know if that made sense, but I do think that that's what's
Well, when you
starting
say
with the
getting your
little.
house in order, and I don't mean to cut you off, but just me knowing you, I know how to be helpful. So when you say
Yeah,
getting your
thank
house in
you.
order, nah, you're welcome. First of all, people don't know what you're talking about when you say house, and people don't know what you're talking about when you say order. And some people do, but there are a lot of people who aren't going to know what you're talking about. So getting your house in order, for some people, that's going to be their actual home, like their household. But that could also be the thing that you're trying to put together. So it's like getting your ish together, just period. I mean, what does that look like? And I want to make it smaller. What does it look like for you to get your stuff together and get it in order when it comes down to you're in finals? Like you're in a very it's necessary for you to remain structured in your studies right now. If it wasn't ever before in the semester, in this time, you cannot lose the structure that you've developed throughout the semester. You can't. What does that mean for somebody who's in a PhD program and your studies are actually niched? Like, it's not like you're doing some electives and you're doing this and you're doing that, and everything has come to a head and everything is about this thing. And it can go, and you're seeing people whose affairs are not in order. You've heard the stories, somewhat of like tragic stories of people trying to go through the program and they had these terrible first semester experience, blah, 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 blah. You've seen the differences. What does it look like for you, like, to make sure, like, what is your process even? What does your mentality have to look like to, like, you got to do this every night? You said it, up late. You might be up studying until like 11 or 12, reading or writing, which is like, those are like sicknesses. It's like, who's trying to read and write at 11 p.m.? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not. So what does that actually like what does that feel like and mean for you to have this freedom even right now? Like our time is 9:59 p.m. and you're able to just be on a podcast. The fact that that even feels like something that you can enjoy speaks to the other nights that you have. So hopefully I didn't explain it too much for you, but I'm just like trying to give you a thread to pull.
No, that's good. Thank you. I think that it has to do with like an inward reflection and a level of honesty with self and authenticity about what's going really well and what's not going well, and setting goals to get there. I think, in the most literal sense, I'm a list person. So, like, I would continuously make lists of like, these are the things that I need to
Like task
prioritize to make,
based.
yes, to make my day easier. These are the things that need to happen. These are the things I can't let fall to the wayside.
So for
Um,
listeners, she said she found out that she was task based, so she makes lists herself. She don't wait around for other people to make them. And she got her priorities in order so that she could order the list in a way that makes sense for her day. I just want people to catch what you just said. Because then people are gonna
100%.
come DMing me about what do I do, and I'm gonna say go listen to episode 11 because Kahlea told you to figure out what type of a person you are. You task based, and if you're task based, then you need to create a list based around your priorities. So you can go ahead.
Thank you. I think, like, for example, last week was a very strenuous week, and it was like Monday comes, I put a quote like, create a great week, and these are the things that need to happen in order for my week to be great. These are the things that I need to perform in and the ways that I need to show up for myself. And I think, like, on a spiritual level, like, seeing where my spirit is and where I'm feeding myself and where I'm not feeding myself, because I find it hard to operate in excellence if my spirit's not right, or my cup is not full, or I'm operating on like a low level. Like, I can't even show up to the party. And so I think for me, I'm really trying to, like, having my house in order is really having myself, my spirit, my family, my relationship, those things that really keep me grounded in order so that I can show up. And I don't think we always show up at our highest capacity, and I don't think that that's what excellence is about. So I just want to make that clear. Like, excellence is not that I'm 100% all the time, but excellence is that I have the intention of being excellent in the things that I'm doing. And I'm willing to put the work in, because I think sometimes it's like, oh, I go 100 all the time. Like, let me tell y'all right now, I'm not at 80 right now. I'm not at 75, right? But I am showing up to whatever task, be it this podcast, be it my paper, at a level of excellence, in hope that I get the results that I'm desiring.
Excellence
There you go.
begins in your intentions. You said that. You didn't mean to say it, but you said it, and I'm typing it at. Excellence begins in your intentions. We have a lot of conversations about intentions because I get to just I get these random waves of like thinking I know about something, and Kahlea gets to hear it live.
You
So
do know
and
about something.
a lot of it has to deal with people's intentions, the intent that you put behind the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
yeah,
agree with that.
Shani, I'm gonna start the next question with you, but I want to hear your thoughts on this one. If you have more, executing on the small things, I know is huge. I think that and just as I I'm going off observation here, obviously, because I'm not a mother and I don't have children, so I'm not
Mm-hmm.
a father either. But I can I can just witness how important it is um, to execute on the small
Oh,
things
it's everything.
when you have little humans running around who not only make small things big,
Yeah.
but the small things are all that exists in their world.
Yeah.
So if you don't execute on the small things, you're jeopardizing their world.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not, and not even just, speaking on motherhood or anything like that, but I don't want to minimize motherhood. So I want to, because there's a lot of dudes that watch me and follow me, but I just wanted to say that, like, that's where the relevance comes in. And that's the reason why I turn toward motherhood for so many lessons, and so much content and training content that I use comes from my observations of motherhood. Just number one, mom, and then you, and having a bunch of aunties who have a bunch of kids. I'm always looking at motherhood for different things that I can pull from or write about or use throughout my day, lessons, blah, 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 business. So I just didn't want to minimize the motherhood thing. But you do a million other things, but that's one of the areas I've noticed where the small executing on the small things is it can be everything.
Oh,
Even for yourself, especially even for yourself. But
yeah. I
but
mean, I can touch on that just a little bit. I don't want to
yeah.
hold y'all up on it.
And I don't want to make you, but I just feel like you probably have something dope.
I mean, Kahlea, I feel like she said that so eloquently. You know, I'm not that person.
She laid it out, didn't she? Hey.
Stop. Please stop.
No,
Both
I
of
couldn't.
y'all.
Hey.
No, I mean that's what you did, but yeah, like you know, even when you're talking about having your house in order, the way I think about it, a lot of times has to do with a deck of cards or my personal hand, right? I get my cards in order so that I even know what I'm dealing with. Just in when we're talking about small, like what do I got here? We'll go fish it real quick, right? I'm literally putting my cards in order. How am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to ask you what you have based off what I have if I don't even know what I have? You know what I'm saying? So let's get my little stuff in order. And then when you take it into our literal house today, it's real funny. My oldest Zazu, she asked me, she said, "What do you do?" And you know, she said, "You don't do anything." Right. And I said, "Oh,
Kids.
okay." I had to ask her like,
Kids. What?
She said, "What do
Were
you be
you alive
doing?"
before I was born?
She tried to tell me I didn't do nothing all day. And I'm like, well, you watch me. What do you watch me doing today? You watch me do this and that and the other, and you see me take a meeting and do this and then make a dinner and a this and a that. And I'm teaching you to be independent, right? All those little things are the things that are going to add up. And when she gets just a little bit older, she's going to have certain habits that are going to develop from me. And if I'm waking up in my day, I can't even get up and brush my teeth. They know as soon as we get up out the bed, you brush your teeth because we're not even going to have a conversation until I come to you correct. So that's a rule in my house. My house is I brush my teeth because when I have a conversation with you, I'm coming to you correct because we talk face to face, eye to eye. That's how we talk, right? And so it's just the little things. As soon as we come downstairs, what do? The kids, they get to their table. They make sure their table is nice and wiped down. I don't care what happened the night before. I'm talking about this morning. Is your table wiped down? Is your table nice and clean? Is your chairs pushed? Are you ready for breakfast? Let me know you ready for breakfast. And it's that's where it is. So I don't,
Right.
you know,
Is the day gonna belong to you, or are you gonna belong to the day?
right.
And it starts, and that's where these are the years when it begins. Because she got about a year and a half left before everything becomes habitual, and she's
Right.
gonna still be learning, obviously, because we're always learning. But the majority of her day to day is gonna become habitual. She got about one more year of being a total sponge. And after 7 years old, a lot of it becomes things that were your reality up until the point when you turn 7 years old. You
Right.
know, it's
And
the
Mhm.
then
first 7 years.
personality is developed by 3. So my Mimi, my middle child, she cleans her table. She wipes her table down. She's organizing the shoes. She has chores and responsibilities. You know, my 6-year has her own responsibilities. These are your toys. Do you want them or do you not want them? Once your toy is missing pieces, it's gone. I throw that thing out because you didn't care about it enough to keep it. You didn't
Right.
care. You know, we got cards here and cards there, and we ain't got a full deck of cards. How are we supposed to play the game? You know what I'm saying? These are just little things that I do, and I literally do that. I you know,
That become the
say
big
what you
things.
feel about the way that I parent, but you know, you
These
don't
are
have
the little things that
to.
become the big things. And you keeping order in the house is teaching your children order for 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 their own lives.
Right,
And
right,
these are the things that become those key characteristics. These are the things that become the factors that make the decision, the deciding factors when they come up in those moments. And we were young when we faced a lot of these like big forks in the road. So now people who are like our age now, and me and you were only 3 years apart. So when I say when people get up toward like 30, early 30s, and people are having these big, large forks, and it has to deal with them confronting themselves, their characteristics, their past. What is it? What is my future look like up against my past? This and that. Some of these big personality defining moments are things that we had to experience at such a young age, And you taking these small steps, not waiting for them to have some huge life event or creating miscellaneous, unnecessary, huge life events for them.
Right.
But you just giving them the breadcrumb, and then over time it'll be a loaf. Not just smacking them over the head like this is life. Boom. Like a lot of parents will do intentionally or unintentionally. But seeing what you're creating as a result of what you got from life chewed up and are now feeding to them in a way that they can actually swallow.
I
Execute
think
on the small things.
I think it's so interesting just to put what we're all talking about together. Excellence was like jammed into my head as a kid. My aunt was a children's ministry pastor, and that was her whole thing is like, you do everything in excellence. Like, it does not matter how small or how large you're showing up, like, you need to show up with a spirit of excellence. And I was the age that Nazira is. So when you start to think about like how that has literally infiltrated my mind throughout the years of like we have to show up, and like not even on a spiritual like Christianity level, but just like you need to show up in excellence. Like I think we downplay how those things evolve, and that it's not too late for us to take on like a spirit of excellence as well.
It's never too late because it's always necessary. It's always appropriate. So it's never too late. It's like better late than never, but never late is better. But better late than never. It's like, but still show up. It's like it's better late than never. Never late is better, but still show up.
You gonna drop a Drake line?
Yeah.
No, that's a real quote. Drake said it in a song, but that's real. That's old. And I want to say, excellence lives in the details. So it lives in the little things. That's what makes the difference. And I've always said this. I've always said that the big things are easy, so I don't really even pay attention to them. It's easy. Like if a house is on fire, obviously water. Like it's not the fact that you thought of that is not a thing. It's like duh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But how about we don't leave the incense next to the notebook?
Right.
How about we create guidelines like how about you don't put the notebook next to the gas stove because when you turn it on, the flame is going to flicker first. Like, how about we make it a point not to leave the house when you're baking something?
Right.
So then instead of having to put a fire out, how about you just have a record of never having a fire?
There you go.
Excellent.
There you go.
Right. You spill something. Obviously, when you spill something, you wipe it up. But what if the whole house is clean? Do you still do the floors every Saturday?
Oh, absolutely.
So, well, I'm not asking you. I already know you probably do. But even that's something, even in that, like those things are the things that even I'll struggle with because I'll say something like, well, I don't like to let things get messy because I don't like cleaning. So I just am always making sure nothing's messy. Like if something spills, I'm gonna wipe it up right away because I don't like cleaning. But so because I don't like to do the deep cleaning and all this and that. I don't like to do that. Now I'll do it because that's just like OCD. I'll do it. And once I start doing it, I can't stop. I gotta do it all day.
Yeah.
But I don't like doing it. But it speaks to like, what is my intention with this? Am I going to be a good steward? Am I going to wake up and am I going to clean my little table every morning? Because it don't matter what happened last night. It's about today. Am I going to have the day or is the day going to have me? What am I saying to myself? So I don't know. Phenomenal. I like what you both said about that. Sorry, I'm like talking.
No, you're not.
But hey, newsflash, it's my show.
Right. Yeah, I was like, who's supposed to be talking?
Oh man, nah. And I took a quote. I pulled a quote from chapter 11 that I want to read to y'all, and then I want to get your thoughts. Shani, I'm gonna start with you. Sorry.
Okay.
But the quote is: "Trailblazers need all the encouragement and positivity we can get, and it will more often than not come from ourselves."
For sure.
I'm gonna read it one more time.
Please do.
Slower for the people in the back. Trailblazers need all the encouragement and positivity we can get, and it will more often than not come from ourselves. I want to know what your thoughts about that are and what comes to mind when you imagine that quote in your life.
Man, well, there's a couple of things that I imagine. Well, first of all, I'm very imaginative. So the first thing I imagine is the mascot from the Trailblazers. And I know that you know what I'm talking about, Solomon. Is that? Yeah, I'm just
from high school.
Yeah, from high school, Blazing the Trail.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't really like that mascot. I didn't really like it
either. Wasn't a good mascot. I have thoughts on it.
Yeah, me
problematic
too.
thoughts. But anyway,
Hey, hey, it was a problematic mascot.
it was. But when I first think about that, all jokes aside, just very hard for me to do. Um, I first think of just the fact that as a entrepreneur, a leader, a mentor, a parent, whatever you may be, and this is not for everybody. This is just for real. This is just not for everybody. Everybody is not the leader of the pack, right? Everybody is not the support person for the support people, right? And I mean like the leader of the leaders, right?
Hmm.
And that's the position that I've been put in life in general. And I believe that is like a divine position for me. That's just where I'm supposed to be, and that doesn't always feel great because a lot of times I have to motivate myself. And speaking to my husband Judah, I will come to him, and sometimes he's like, "Yo, the reason why you weren't received the way you wanted to be received in this particular situation is because these people have you on a pedestal. These people have you in a place of leadership, in a place of mentorship. And so when they see the humanity in their mentor, or that their mentor is needing support or uplifting or motivation, that shakes them a little bit. So a lot of times you have to be that person that is just unshaken. And it doesn't mean that you don't shake and you don't quake and you don't feel that bit of fear. But that means that you have got to be the person that is roaring to the fight. You have to be that Leonidas. You see, it wasn't that he had no fear in him whatsoever. Maybe possibly, because I must tell you, I'm quite fearless. I literally mean that. There are very few things in this world that cause a simple bit of fear in my body. Point
Mm-hmm.
blank, period. But those things cause me to literally tell myself, get up and run to the fight.
Yes, I don't want to cut you off, but what people don't understand. People think that the most important thing is that you're not afraid of something or a situation, but the most important thing is your reaction to that emotion, that emotional experience that you have, those sensations. What
Right.
is your reaction to those sensations that you have in those moments? And that's what tells the good from the great, and that's what tells, like, um winners and losers. Am I going to stay down? Like when I got knocked down, like I started up, I gave my best and I ended up on the floor. What happens next when getting up just doesn't seem advantageous?
Right.
What happens next when I know I'm in for more?
Hmm.
What's my reaction going to be? And a lot of people, like when you're a mentor, leader, coach, but when you're set apart, people will look at you like, people kind of have this image of you that because maybe you're a four in there too, they just have this image of fours being this super thing. It's like, I'm not a super thing. I deal with the same things you do every day. And on the inside, I felt every emotion about these things that we're doing. My reaction to them is maybe just a bit different. My level of endurance might be different. My strategies and my level of execution is probably different, which is why you've come to me. But don't get it twisted. The reason why you have no excuse, the reason why I'm able to eliminate your excuses and walk you through these things is because I've been there. And I've been there and I still got here. Still.
Correct.
And people got to understand that. And a lot of times, because they look at you a certain way, like, people don't think I deal with anything dark ever. People don't think I have. I mean, you see the way people, y'all see online even, or it's like people, or even with some of my like friends or some people who used to be my friends, where it's like they don't think I need anything. They just think Solo good all the time. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on. If everything's bad, Solo's good. But the truth is that while I'm not always good, I'm just always going to take the next step. Like, it doesn't matter whether I'm good or not. Like, if we walk in the plank, we walk in the plank. That's just what it is. It's a sword behind me, it's a shark in front of me, and I'm on a plank. But if we walk in the plank, we walk in the plank. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's just the way I treat every day. And one of my solutions to that, those sensations that I get when I'm starting to realize, like, people will look at you like you're super you, and heroes like are heroes, but they're not super. That's for the movies. Heroes are heroes because of their reaction to adversity, not because they don't feel the same sensations as other people when they come up against it. It's because of their reaction to it. I let people think what they think. I'm just very transparent about everything along the way, you know. And I know people believe that I'm not that like you, or like even the girls, like the girls probably think like there's nothing that can phase mommy, like it, period, ever. Everything I've dealt with out of these kids, everything I've dealt with, mommy's just bigger than all my problems.
No, not
Which
in this
is,
area.
I mean,
She thinks she no. She
well,
beat me
when
up,
they turn,
guys.
when they get old enough to feel like deep emotion, and they get mature enough to conceptualize a consciousness other than their own, and then they think of you and your consciousness, and then they think of you experiencing very deep emotions in those moments, then they're going to be able to say, and this is not for like everybody's not going to get this. One of them may get it before the other. One might get it, the other two might not. Two might get it, one might not. They might all get it. But the point is, I remember, Shani, me and you had a conversation one day, and I was like, I had to teach myself to look at mom and dad as people.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to realize one day, like, they're not parents. There's people who had kids.
Right.
And so it's like, I'm a coach, you know, like by trade, like I'm a leader by nature. I'm just a person who's already been a lot of the places where other people are either at trying to figure it out or haven't been yet. That's it. Like, I'm just in a different part of the cycle than you are. That's really it. And I was paying attention enough to be able to map it out and have strategies and concepts. But that's it.
Yeah.
So a lot of that motivation coming from self and things like that. You know, I like what you said about being the one who's roaring into the fight, because that is a reaction to adversity,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not the inexperience of adversity. It is not the numbness to it. It's just the reaction saying, who cares? We're
Right.
going here. We decided we were going here. I made up in my mind before the mission that I was going to complete the mission. Navy. That's it. Just is what it is. Okay, helicopter got spotted, shot down, blow it up. We here. What you want me to do? Execute the mission. I either make it back or I don't. But it
Right.
is what it is. And though that's leadership. One of my mentors used to say, you got to lead while you bleed. But it don't mean you don't bleed. It don't mean you're inhumane. It don't mean you don't bleed. So, or you don't get cut. So I didn't mean to cut you off, but
You didn't cut me off, I don't think.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but you triggered these like thoughts that were branches of what you were saying. I should say. So phenomenal. Did I cut you in the middle of thought?
No, I mean, I had several thoughts while you were speaking, but no, just to kind of add to what you're saying, you even had said, about my girls, and I had to show my daughter, my oldest, again, because she's big and bad, but
She's 6.
she is, yeah. She had a moment where we're at a grocery store. I'm not gonna go through this whole story, but a woman was hollering and yelling, and she was doing things that I just felt like was just, and I wasn't right there. I was actually just viewing from the car as my husband was going into the grocery store, and this woman acting kind of irate, and so I had to literally jump out the car and run up, right? And
For those of y'all who don't know, me and Shani part of what's called the Hop Out Gang, and we just part of a bloodline that's just always like we gonna hop out.
We can hop out.
We gonna hop out.
Hop out, run up, get done up, and all that. But so I had to run up, right, and she afterwards I made sure to break down this whole thing with her and help her process what she witnessed, right. And she was able to I asked her what she saw and able to spit this information back at me. Yeah, mommy protected me, because the way she viewed the situation was somebody attacking her, not somebody yelling at another adult. And so it was mommy protecting me. Mommy, ran at the towards the fight. Mommy did this for me. And so I did that intentionally because I'm a small person. She's a small person. She's going to grow. And she's going to have to know how to run at whatever it might be, whatever that thing is. Doesn't matter what it is. So
that's that fight or flight.
Yeah, your fight or flight is fight.
Yeah. And I can speak from experience that is something that can be nurtured, because my nature was flight. and I had that very traumatic experience. Like somebody put their hands on me, and then like I was trying to flee, and I ended up trying like breaking bones in my face and this and that, and I had surgery and all that. And then after that, I got busy with one of my best friends who was like undefeated boxer. We started training, and I got into martial arts with Judah, and they nurtured me into a fight nature instead of a flight nature. And that fight or flight nature and that mentality doesn't necessarily mean always being the aggressor in every situation. It doesn't always translate into violent scenarios either. It just translates into confronting things head on, not being um, not being unwilling to deal with confrontation, but also not like literally like if a thing needs to be confronted, then you will be the person who confronts it.
Right.
If even if it means you go alone or you go first. And that thing can be nurtured. And that's a beautiful thing to have when you have a level head, but you're able to confront things first, which is actually doing a service to the community because you might be the only person with that level headedness. And the fact that you're willing to confront that when other people might not know what to do, not just you, but now who will be your daughter, raising up another leader who's going to be able to serve the world in that way and do that service to problem solve. And what is it that Keys? And I don't necessarily want to plug him, but I really do follow 19 Keys. And 19 Keys, one of his things that he talks about a lot is that one of the most essential pieces of masculinity is conflict resolution, and meeting everything with violence or rage is not conflict resolution. It's very immature. Conflict resolution is mostly just de-escalating. Like situations is just de-escalating. So like if your security, all they know how to do is grab people and throw them around, as you got a bad security guard.
Right.
They don't understand conflict resolution. Sometimes that might just be like, hey man, it's all good. Why don't you just walk up here? Okay, hey, just go on. Hey, all good. We don't have any problems. You got any problems? No, we good. Shake a hand. What's your name? Okay, this is my name. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just over here doing my job. All right, go ahead. End of the hey, you got maybe a drunk irate person, or you got a crazy fan running up on somebody and you just de-escalated the situation. You got a really good security guard. Conflict resolution takes confrontation. So I love that. Kahlea, I see you over there kind of absorbing everything. Do you have questions, concerns, comments?
It's so funny. I was just like, who is 19 Keys? I
Yeah.
had
Also, while y'all do that, give me a second. I'll be right back.
I had to look that up, but I think this conversation is important because I am a naturally confrontational person. And I think that that is what Shawnee is speaking on is something that I've had to evolve in because I think that used to show up to the fight first. Like we're just fighting. And I think really evolving in that way and being back to the quote, self motivating has been like learning when to fight my battles and how to fight my battles, and using confrontation in a productive way. Because I do think that people are naturally afraid of confrontation,
Yeah.
um, be it good confrontation, bad confrontation. So I just appreciate that because I don't think that's something. I think Solomon and I talk a lot about confrontation in general, just because we're both not people who are afraid of confrontation. But it's definitely been a lot of reframing for me. I'm like in the last 3 years on like how can I use this as a productive means, and a lot of that is me being in a good mental space as well, because I think sometimes when the boat starts rocking and we get confrontational, the fight or flight is it keeps going. The fight, keep fighting to no end. So I appreciate this conversation. I'm enjoying listening.
Yeah, it's interesting. Even on like one of the more selfish reasons I like need to make sure I continue to podcast is just because I get so many different insights that I can use throughout the week. And I get to talking, but just even listening, because when you mention like that, sometimes the fight continues and things like that. And even something so simple, and I'm a simple dude. I take the smallest thing and make them complex. But even just now, when you're just like saying you appreciate this conversation, I'm thinking about y'all two's different walks, like our three different walks of life. Me being able to pull some of these things up and hear y'all's perspectives. I'm hearing situations that I've been dealing with that I could be handling differently.
Mhm.
For real. And what day is it? Wednesday? Like it's Wednesday right now, and I'm thinking back to my work day, and I'm just like literally seeing things in my mind, and I'm sitting here talking about conflict resolution, and I'm like, I almost lost it over an email today. I almost
It be
lost it
like
over an
that.
email that wasn't to me.
Mm.
So I'm just like, okay. That's where that hop out gang need to
That's
just
that
like,
confrontational. You already know.
yeah, because I'm like, I'm looking at the way a person is speaking to another person who I work with, and I'm knowing the person's personality who I work with, and I'm just like, they're not gonna say anything to you. So I'm just like,
Very
hop
much
out gang.
email.
I'm in the email, like I got the asterisk like hops out, but in the vehicle, hops out of vehicle.
No, one hundred
um,
percent. And I think that that's where that can be like, you know, my personality is like, if I see stuff that I don't think is right, I'll say something. But it's like sometimes I'm fighting everybody's battles,
yeah,
and like I
exactly.
don't need to fight everybody's battles. Like sometimes people need space to show up.
Yeah.
People always need space to show up when they have the capacity to, and that knowing when a person is maybe uncomfortable but they do have the capacity to show up, so you should let them. That's the rough part as a leader. Just seeing people who are like, you may be uncomfortable showing up in this way in this time, but I know you have the capacity to, and this is your moment. So I have to step out of the way of whatever this pressure, heat, or cutting might be so that you can get to your diamond.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking about something that Shani and I experienced together last maybe a year ago or two. And I just think it's important because sometimes the people who are the hop out game, as y'all say it, folks start to expect you to do that work, even when they are in the capacity. So I think that that's the other side of that too. Is like if I'm always with Shani, and if it pops off, Shani is the person to hop in, and I'm able to, but I'm not willing to. I think that that also adds pressure to the type of personalities that we're speaking about, right? Of like, it shouldn't always be Shani showing up. Like sometimes Shani got to tap me in, and
Yeah.
sometimes I gotta show up for Shawnee. And I think that that's the kind of support systems that folks like us really need, because it's like I know if I call Shawnee and I need something, or I talk to Solomon, then that's reciprocal. But sometimes it's like folks are expecting us to fight on our own, and not every battle is solely ours.
Yeah, I mean, that's the and this is something I talk about a lot too. Like going from being a dependent to an independent to an interdependent is the maturity process. It's like the growth cycle, and being interdependent and being, I don't want to say 100% mature in that way, but at least making it to that phase where you understand that interdependence is key as a human, or just like in existence, period. Just in this reality, interdependence is key. But being around people who don't fully believe or even understand the concept of interdependence, like that can be a tough one, because you got people who are either dependent and they want you to do it all, or independent, so they're not even paying no attention to you but still want to be all up in your space. And you're over here understanding the power of interdependence, and you just like, man, I mean, we got wheels, we got gasoline, we got pipes, we got a spark plug, we got glass. I mean, if we just work together, we might could be a G-Wagon. We might be able to pull it off, like, or at least a little hoopty. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just like, man. And that could be a tough one. Um, I have we coming up on, we about to hit the hour mark pretty soon. Sorry, y'all. We about to hit the hour mark pretty soon. I told y'all it was going to be shorter. And I got one more quote that I pulled from the book.
I mean,
I got one more quote that I pulled from the book I want to read to y'all, and y'all could just say whatever's on your mind, say whatever's on your heart, dive in, or say nothing. Just let me know, because we coming up on it. We do have a lightning round at the end with new, fresh stuff,
oh,
new, fresh questions, and then I just want to read like 4 bullet points I took from what y'all talked about for the people. But Um, quote from chapter 11. Give me a second. Quote from boom. Chapter 11 says, while it's fine, while it's fantastic to adopt helpful habits and for key characteristics to be developed by way of attaining said habits, it is absolutely counterproductive to try to be anyone other than yourself. I'm going to say it again. I'm slow it down. While it's fantastic to adopt helpful habits, and when I'm speaking to that, I'm speaking to when you admire people and you're following your North Star, you find a 4 that can help you get to a 4 because you're a 3. While it's fantastic to adopt helpful habits and for your key characteristics to be developed by way of attaining those habits, while it's important for you to be peeling back and discovering your own identity as you follow those who know maybe something you don't know or just know themselves enough to help you get to know yourself, it is 1000% counterproductive to try to actually be anyone other than you.
Okay.
And that's why I call these key characteristics rather than me calling them something along the lines of, or I don't want to call them, I didn't want to call them anything that kind of alluded to like you're trying to be this person. I'm very articulate as I describe admirability, and the act of admiring a person, the concept of following or allowing a person to mentor or coach you. I'm very articulate when I describe those things in the book for a reason. I don't want people to get that mixed up with, I don't want people to get like, if I'm imitating the key characteristics that a person possesses and I'm making them my own, it's different than me trying to be them. It's different. It's different. Excellence can imitate excellence because it's in the details. It's applicable to everything. But I'm not trying to be who you are and do what you do. I'm in my own lane, right? So I might mimic the quality or the level of attention to detail that you pay to a thing. I might mimic your your attitude as it pertains to conflict resolution or confrontation. But I'm not trying to be a doula, and I'm not changing my name to Shani. Right. I'm not going to get my PhD because Kahlea is getting her PhD and studying higher ed because she's studying higher ed, or doing my hair that way, trying to grow it out and do it like that because she's growing it out and doing it like that. I don't know if I could do it anyway, but I'm not trying to do that.
You wasn't trying to do that?
I could, hey, tried and that was not tried and true. That was tried and failed. That was the tried and failed podcast. But so I wanted to be sure I highlighted in this those things, and that it is counterproductive to try to be anyone other than yourself. Don't devalue yourself on the way to your pursuit of excellence. And thoughts, comments.
That's the mic drop right there.
Nah, what do you think? What do you think? I didn't form it into a question. I just pulled it because I said I want to read this, and I want to bring it up on the podcast. What are your thoughts?
I think the point about imitation is really important. I think we're in a cultural time with social media, with media in general, where like stand culture and trying to emulate people, not what they are doing, but their essence is so big, and we're not validated enough from each other, ourselves, on who we are as individuals. Sorry, there's feedback, but yeah, I just think that what's for you is for you, and who you are to be is who you are to be. And that shouldn't be discounted at any point. So that point that you said, the road to excellence, you already know you don't want me to try to
Yeah.
you know you don't want me to try to say it back. You know you don't want me to butcher it.
I said I was talking about adopting helpful habits.
Yeah.
And key characteristics being developed as you adopt helpful habits. Helpful habits.
And there was one line about on the road to excellence.
Oh no. Yes, I wasn't reading that. No. I was talking.
He
so
said it.
Because I was just flowing, I have no idea
what see that I think on the road to excellence.
And you know what? Yeah, I did say, and people who are listening to this are gonna be like, you just said it 20 seconds ago. Listen, I just be going. It ain't scripted. It's in you, not on you. But Nah, I was saying that like you don't want
It
to
breathe me.
lose sight of, basically along the lines of like you don't want to lose sight of self in your pursuit of excellence.
One,
You don't want to
and
lose
I
sight of
think that
self.
that is the part. If you can operate in excellence and get to where you want to be and look back and say that you are who you said you are, that's invaluable in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is, you want to become an excellent person. You don't want to just be faking it for the crowds that you're in. And when it becomes you, it will fit you. It will fit you like a hat that was designed for you, like a glove that was designed for you. It won't be like you putting on someone else's glove because you're going to the party.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that's
Mm-hmm.
you
always very apparent when somebody does that. It's
right.
not going to
Yeah.
work for them, and it's not excellent for you. It's not
It's like real recognize real.
right. It's not going to
Mhm.
yield the result that you're looking for to put on the suit of another human. That's what's wrong with appropriation. To be honest, and I'm going to go there. Is when you try to put on my suit of excellence and this beauty that is this black woman.
Come on, make me viral. Let's go. Give me a viral moment.
She said,
I'm trying to get on. Give me a viral moment.
When you try to do it and you
I need
fail,
a million views.
don't work. No, but I'm being really serious here. Okay, I'm being serious. You can't put on this
Yeah.
suit and think that you're gonna walk in it and it's gonna work for you. Like my shoes literally just don't fit your feet.
Yeah.
You
You
know?
don't get to just throw on blackface. We're gonna cancel you.
Yeah, it
You know
don't
what I'm
work.
saying? And it goes all and that goes
When
all
you don't
ways.
get canceled, it don't. It ain't gonna work for you. You know
it's
you
not
get
authentic.
you know
Yeah.
it ain't gonna
We
work
call that
for you.
cap.
Full cap.
Yep. It's a big word. Everybody listening, write it down. Cap.
Yeah,
Solid. All right, man. Well, I'm not cutting you off,
sound like
but
you will. That's all right.
Stop
it's looking
capping.
like,
It's the moral of the story.
listen, I got two things left to do. One of them is a lightning round, which is coming up next.
Okay.
So right before we get into the lightning round, real quick, I'm gonna mute y'all mics real quick so y'all can do what you want to do, say what you want to say. I heard the little ones in the background, but real quick, once again, like I said, you're on the Tried and True podcast, man. I got two of these phenomenal guests here with me. And while I don't have like a commercial to read or anything like that, I do want to say in the last episode, I brought up brand partnerships. And since the last episode, which was literally just a couple of days ago, I had a brand reach out to me about a brand partnership. And then I reached out to another brand about a collab, who I would love to work with, is somebody who I actually know. So you might be seeing those two things coming soon, or you might not. It depends. The brand that reached out to me is actually a pretty cool brand. I'm not going to name them because I'm probably not going to work with them. They're great. They're just not for me. And with that being said, I want to say, do not reach out to me if what you're doing isn't something that fits not only my content, but probably, judging by the content, my lifestyle. So like if you're a cigarette brand, don't reach out to me. I got asthma. I don't smoke. Right. I don't like Hennessy. Right. I don't drink Hennessy. So if you're Hennessy, don't reach out to me. I can't promote that. Right. So like if you're something like, I don't know, ankle socks. I don't wear ankle socks. Sorry. I don't run track. Don't reach out to me. But there are other things that I promoted on the podcast, like water companies or clothing brands whose missions I really believe in and stuff like that. Let's get into that. Let's get into some real productive stuff. If you are a person who, I'm in a lot of groups, communities. If you're a person who needs a guest, you can reach out to me. If you're a person who wants to be a guest, you can reach out to me. Like I said on the last podcast, though, the process is not impossible to get on the podcast. Our visions just have to align. So if I say no or I don't say anything at all, don't be offended. The vision didn't align. If it does align, then let's get it in. Like I said, we're wrapping up season 1, which means we're digging into more of season 2. I got some of that stuff filmed already, some of it not. So we can get into season 2. Maybe we can even get into season 3. You know what I'm saying? So reach out to your boy. Um, let's see. What else did I have? The book is about to temporarily become unavailable. I'm working on something new for y'all centered around financial literacy. I'm trying to get the power back into y'all's hands. I want you to understand the power of credit. I don't just want y'all to understand the number, your credit actual score. That number is one of the least important parts of your actual credit report. Okay. And a lot of people don't know that. But coming from me, a credit professional and someone who's actually eaten what I cooked, I can tell you right now, the credit of your character is what will determine the power of your, excuse me, the character of your credit is what will determine the power of your credit, which determines the level of leverage you have in a lot of conversations and with these institutions. That'll make the difference between these institutions coming to you saying you owe me money or coming to you saying, please let us give you money. We want you to owe us money, please. There's a big difference in the level of assets and conversations that you're having at the bank. So I'm writing something centered around that stuff. If you want to hear more about that type of information, reach out to me on Instagram at Tried and True Podcast or at Coach Solly. I'm thinking about going live and starting a series on that. You heard it here first. I'm probably going to start a financial literacy series going live on Instagram as I complete the book. So the deciding factor is about to temporarily become unavailable. I'm unmuting y'all's mics. We about to get into this lightning resound.
Okay.
Check, checkity, check. All right. Y'all back?
Yep.
Let's get it. Okay. Lightning round. Kahlea, I'm gonna ask you the first question. And these are like easy, very simple questions. First question.
Okay.
All right. Scale of 1 to 10. How good are you at keeping secrets?
1 to 10 is the best.
10 is like,
I mean, 10 is the best.
and 1 is I can't keep them at all.
Just say 0 because
Yeah, you're giving it up. You're giving yourself away right now.
No,
He's
I
like,
can
what's
keep a
a
secret. It's about a 3 for me.
That sounds true. What about
wait,
you, Shani?
like 1 being bad and 10
1
being
is the worst. Yeah,
Oh.
that sounds accurate. She can't.
I
keep
think
secrets.
I'm a 4 or 5, honestly.
Kahlea doesn't even keep secrets unless I tell her, please don't tell anyone that. And then she
I
still
don't
might.
like secrets.
She still might. What about you, Shani?
Dude, like a 12.
I can believe that.
I got
know
stuff
she
that
did.
you've done that you don't know you did. Period.
Okay, yeah.
You're not gonna even know.
Because you never bring it up.
No.
Yeah, I believe that. Ariel or Jasmine? These are Disney princesses.
Can I ask a question? Are we talking like
Nope.
Hallie knew Black Jasmine
Nope.
with the box?
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna say I have to
I
say
thought Hallie
Ariel.
was Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel.
I meant Ariel. My bad.
Oh, okay. Which one is Jasmine?
Jasmine is Aladdin.
Oh.
Ariel is Little Mermaid.
Jasmine.
Princess Jasmine was Aladdin.
Aladdin?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
I can't. Yes, I have.
I mean, not
See,
Shani.
this is
Kahlea
like-
said which one's Jasmine. Yeah.
This is not a safe space because if I don't know something, I'm gonna get roasted, y'all.
I'm not gonna roast you. I mean, it's a lightning round, so you're gonna have to speed up your
Okay,
answer.
mine is Ariel because of Hallie.
Okay, but all right. Well, I said no. OG only, and this was a question for Shani first.
I say Jasmine, OG Jasmine, yeah.
Why?
Because Jasmine had this independence and she wasn't trying to be chasing after no man.
Facts.
Oh, touche. I switched mine to
So
Jasmine.
you both said Jasmine. Oh, you said Ariel?
I switched mine to Jasmine after
that
fact was presented.
Okay, so work-wise, night or morning?
Question for whom?
Kahlea first.
Night.
I already knew that. Shani.
Morning.
Yep, I could have guessed that too. All right, if you could travel back in time, what period? No. If you had, see, we got to change this for Black people.
Yeah,
if you were forced to go back in time, if you had no choice and you woke up in a specific time period, which time period would it be? And you could choose it.
The 70s.
Why? Because the disco, the dancing, and all that.
Yes, I've been obsessed with 70s disco lately.
Yeah, you've been just
Black disco is just a moment, like Soul Train era, like all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Shani?
Samaria, Mesopotamia.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I had a feeling you was gonna take it back.
Yeah.
Shani was like, "Yes, sir."
I want to know.
Yeah.
What year is that?
Like
that includes years that will be hard to count.
Yeah, this is the first civilization ever before the flood, before any of that stuff, like before Noah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See,
So
I'm going back to the 70s so I can be on Soul Train, and she's discovering the truth.
I want to know the truth because it's very clear that we were,
things were different.
Yeah, the ancient societies were.
The world was a very specific way before it turned into all of this.
I want to know
through several transformations.
Yeah, I want to see the people.
Yeah, I want to understand like what were the systems that were in place before we put all this crap in place here, these cycles that are in play here. Like what were the other systems that were in play? How did we truly view and use math and science? Like
yeah,
what was,
this is like Y'all are the deep version of what I would want to know, but
Well,
I'm answering from the edible
you just want
version
to
of
dance
me.
battle Jimi Hendrix.
I'm trying to be on Coltrane,
You want to dance battle Jimi Hendrix.
and I
Shani
can't
wants to
really.
dance battle Jesus. And yeah, I just wanted to figure out. I want to know if any of the ancient philosophers who were well, I'm not even gonna go there because now we're gonna get into race theory. But anyway, so Kahlea, question for you: place you most want to travel? Look at this one.
Hi, baby. Um, that I most want to
That's
travel.
Yaya, folks who are watching.
Um, I have no idea.
Place you
I
most want to
would,
travel right now?
I want to go to Belize.
All right, Belize. Shani, are you able to answer right now?
Yes.
Okay, where is it?
The place I most want to travel right now is complicated. So we'll just say um, the RICOT structure, the RICOT structure,
I have no clue what you're talking
What
about, but
is
someone
that?
listening probably does.
CHAT structure. Look it up.
Okay. Okay. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
favorite junk food for Shani?
Ooh, chips or ice. Oh, wait. Chips.
What kind?
Barbecue, kettle cooked ridges.
Okay. Kalia, junk food, favorite. Mexican
Junk
candy.
food, Mexican candy, chips and queso, chicken wings.
Oh yeah, you're on nachos heavy right now. Favorite
Yeah,
childhood
nachos.
TV
I'm not
show.
even supposed to eat queso.
Kalia,
I
what's your
know.
favorite childhood TV show?
Ooh.
This is
Kalia.
very hard.
Like, can you hear me?
I'm getting sleepy, y'all. This is not my favorite, but it just came to my mind out of the box.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's not your favorite though. You liked we talked about this. You were a Disney kid.
Yeah.
She was a Disney kid, Shani.
I
Um,
like Disney movies on Fridays.
I know we're also like a very different generation, so my answer is going to sound totally different than yours.
yeah, what's yours?
I was going to say Doug or
Oh yeah, I
Man,
like that
Hey
too.
Monsters, Real Monsters.
man. And he
Um,
used to hold the eyeballs
yeah,
or the armpit.
I was going to go back like Rugrats. I mean, there's also
I like Rugrats
Rugrats.
too. I like Hey Arnold.
Power was kind of dope. Solomon is yours. Rocket Power.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Rocket Power's up there. There's a lot. So lately, I've had the like that's been stuck in my head every day. Every morning I wake up. So that we got Hey Arthur, we got Hey Arthur. Obviously, Hey Arnold is up there. Rugrats is up there. Wild Thornberries is up there. SpongeBob, I do believe, could go down as one of the greatest television shows of all time.
Oh my gosh.
SpongeBob is up there. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Oh yeah.
is easily. And you know who doesn't get enough credit? The Jackie Chan show.
You know who doesn't get enough
Jackie Chan
credit?
Yeah, that
show.
was good. That was
All that.
All
All
that.
that was a great show.
Yeah, stars were born.
it's kind of hard to pick. Sounds like yeah.
It's tough, but I'm gonna be honest. I might have to go SpongeBob. I might have to go SpongeBob on them.
Understandable, especially because of your age.
I might have to do it just because of the greatness. Like
Young
it came after a lot of shows, but it was just so it was the greatness. It was so great. Um, let's see. I'm gonna skip that. One of them says favorite season. I don't like that. Cake or pie?
Are you asking me or are you asking Kalia?
Kalia.
Cheesecake.
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Shani.
Like a in betweener. It's
It is.
obviously pie because pie is for the mature. Cake is
Hmm.
for children.
Hmm.
What's your
What?
favorite
So
kind
what
of
about peach cobbler?
pie?
Is peach cobbler pie?
Cobbler is considered
Yes.
pie. We've got cobblers, you've got crumbles, you've got all different types of
So you're
ways.
like a whiny, like a wino, not a whiny. You're like a wino. You're a pio. It sounds like.
You got it.
What's your favorite kind of pie?
Pureo, um, peach cobbler, which is not pie, but I also like apple pie. See, there's nothing like a good
Yeah, apple pie with the ice cream, very good.
American pie, you know?
Hmm. I don't know yes, apple pie is
I
very
do
good.
like peach cobbler though.
Yeah, peach cobbler's on point, and there's this peach cobbler cheesecake out here. I don't want to plug the restaurant, but it's called Milk and Honey, and it's close by, and they have the craziest peach cobbler cheesecake,
Cheesecake.
unbelievable. Milk and Honey
Yo.
in College Park,
Or
yeah,
in DC.
yeah, and call your order in and get it to go, okay? Because there's not a table.
You
And
ain't
call
getting
it
no
in because if you
table.
order it while you're there, 45 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, but if you call and get it to go, it doesn't even matter because you just go pick it up when it's done. And speaking of things being done, we're about to wrap it up. I got to think of another phrase to use when I'm ending the podcast, and I don't have one yet. So we just going, I don't know. Maybe I'll say something like, yeah, it's time to roll out. Maybe I'll say something like, all right, y'all, we got shake. These are things that I might say in real life. Uh, I had to come up with another ending phrase. I'll think about it this week. I'm going to think about it over the next couple of days. But I want to say thank you to both of y'all for being present on the podcast and being part of the book. I got you, Shani. And Kahlea, you first. Closing remarks. I really appreciate everything you've done. The next episode that I do is going to be the final episode of season 1. So this was big. This is my last guest episode of season 1. And I chose for it to be y'all for obvious reasons, the part y'all played in the book and in my life. Closing remarks.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure as always. I think the message of staying true is very relevant. So I hope that folks found gems and continue to listen to the evolution of your podcast.
Yeah, I could dig that. Shani, you're unmuted.
Yeah, I think that was Kahlea. She has a way of speaking words, so I feel like why should I even go after that?
Stop.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
she got a very interesting way of speaking English. I could say that too.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate being here, and if your folks like me, then bring me back.
Boom.
It's on my mind.
That's what it is. Yeah, I'll talk to somebody on the team of like 100 people and go through the proper channels. And by the time it gets to me, maybe you'll get on in the next 2 years. How about that?
Yay. Hey, let it be.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we about to shake. So, yeah, it was a pleasure to have y'all. I'm starting to become excited about wrapping up this season, and what we have in store for season 2 is crazy. And I'm looking forward to y'all being more a part of all these different creative processes. For the listeners, for the viewers, it's been lit season 1. I'm not really, stopping what I'm doing. So I don't know that y'all are even going to experience a break. But yeah, we're about to get into season 2 pretty soon, man. And it's been exciting, this journey. I got one more podcast left in season 1. And I'm just encouraging y'all, go back and listen to these episodes, and particularly the conversations I've had with these two individuals on previous episodes. Yeah, that's about it. They've been tried. I've been tried. And again, it's all true. So, yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you.